Leadership. Not a day goes by in BBYO where we don't reflect on what it means to be a leader. You join the movement and instantly you're asked to run for board, create a program, or design your chapter apparel. But for me, as a young 8th grader in my chapter, the task of being a leader seems so daunting. Where does one even get the experience to be a good leader? Is it at CLTC? It was midway through the session when mock chapter elections took place. We were told to write a 2-minute speech in 2 hours. Seems pretty easy, right? Wrong. It's pouring rain outside, and every candidate is equally as qualified as the next. Nonetheless, I put my name in the basket, and in 2 hours, with my pencil, a red book, and the paper I was using to write my best friend letters at her sleepaway camp, I wrote the speech. I carefully worded it and crafted it until it was about as good as it could get in 2 hours. Who would have thought that 6 months later, I would have the same 2 hours to write a speech? But this time, it wasn't to be a leader, it was to pass my English final. In 1,500 words and 2 hours, I had to convince my English teacher why To Kill a Mockingbird was the greatest novel of all time. To do so, I had to look at multiple perspectives, both in and out of the novel. You never know when those BBYO quick speech writing and thinking skills may come in handy. Now, my first BBYO speech was for the role of chapter shlicha, which in my region is exclusively community service. I've always really had a passion for helping other people. At my middle school, our community service was broken into 3 parts: awareness, compassion, and engagement. While we typically focus on awareness and engagement, the most important part, in my opinion, is compassion. Shortly after October 7th, I visited my family in Israel, and I also decided to help out at a local hospital in Tel Aviv that was serving both Israelis and Palestinians. Honestly, it was nothing like I'd ever expected it to be. Despite its rundown infrastructure and low funding, the personalized care that every child received was truly unparalleled. One way they spread joy around the hospital was with a clown. I got to spend the day with them. Yes, a clown. We went around all day singing tunes and handing out stickers. The only thing left for our circus was a trapeze. Despite the slightly bizarre nature of clowns, everybody loved it, old and young. Yeah, everybody really loved this clown. They also had a music recording studio, an art studio, and even a gym. People would be more sad to leave the hospital than to come to it. Seeing people be this happy in a time of war in a hospital was truly inspiring. It was there where I really felt the connection to everything that I was doing back home as my chapter shlicha for Magen David Adom, the Israeli Red Cross. Understanding the people that you're helping is so important when you're doing community service, and it's equally as important when you're being a leader. Listening. It is important, and all good leaders listen to those that they lead. Sometimes, leadership comes from the places you would never expect, like your science class. Designing a lab teaches collaboration and organization in a way that few projects can. One time, I had a lab that was student-led where we designed it to be around how different colored plastics have a different effect on photosynthesis. The goal was to see if the different colored plastics would be better for the environment. Because it was a student-led lab, we had to start from square one. Building our procedure was nowhere near as simple as we expected. We had to do extensive background research to idealize the conditions of our experiment, do a lot of trial and error, and perfect our method each time. These are still things that I use now as my chapter skinny. Designing my lab was kind of like putting together an event calendar. And also, working with event planners was like working with my lab partners. I was also able to bring in the quick brainstorming I had from BBYO programming into my time in the lab. Being able to collaborate with others and fix things when things go wrong are 2 key skills needed to be a good leader. Just because I've acquired all these skills and applied them to different areas of my life does not mean I'm a perfect leader, nor am I a perfect person. Each moment in your life can give you the skills you need to be a good leader or a good learner, but we're all still growing. Think about your life. What aspects do you think give you these skills? All of this to say, you can get your leadership skills anywhere. Even the most mundane moments or activities like school can give you the set of tools you need to be a good leader. Don't overlook these moments. There's no one right path or activity. Now that you know the secret sauce, the only question is, where are you going to lead? Thank you.